Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megyn. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy
on what, could have been one of the most beautiful nights of my life career-wise. I literally was sent to the basement with all my friends and family for over an hour because I wasn't allowed to be seen. She didn't want me anywhere near her or the rest of the cast.
Before we go any further into this is actually really scary, but did you know that children are being diagnosed with serious conditions like type 2 diabetes and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and the research is potentially linking ultra-processed foods to this? Yeah, so Morgan & Morgan is stepping in to fight to hold these food companies accountable. With decades of experience fighting large corporations, they are ready to stand up for families who deserve justice. So if your child under 21 has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, visit www.forthepeople.com/food to learn more. Baldoni, a proposal about starting threads of theories, creating social fan engagement to change a narrative, and to make sure, quote, all of this will be most importantly untraceable. And this was, again, all to counter any negative stories about Baldoni. The complaint reads, this plan went well beyond standard crisis PR. What Ms. Nathan proposed included a practice known as astroturfing, which has been defined as the practice of publishing opinions or comments on the internet and the media, etc., that appear to come from ordinary members of the public, but actually come from a particular company. Furthermore, Ms. Nathan's plan proposed strategies to advance misleading counter-narratives, including pushing Nathan's narrative that Ms. Lively had, quote, less than favorable reputation, proposing to explore planting stories about the weaponization of feminism, and misleadingly blaming Ms. Lively for production members' job losses. So putting the blame and the focus and negative attention on her. And there was also this apparent circulation of this scenario planning document, and it provides Nathan's company's, quote, recommendation to get ahead of this narrative. And this included suggesting misleading messages that production members lost their jobs due to takeover and insisted upon involvement, that Ms. Lively involved her husband to create an imbalance of power between her and others, that Ms. Lively had a less than favorable reputation in the industry, that Ms. Lively had a clear likely motive to bully her way into buying the rights for It Starts With Us. That's the sequel. And there was even an allegation in this complaint that Baldoni didn't think this campaign was aggressive enough. The complaint reads, and again, this is actually based on a text message embedded in the complaint. It says, writing to Mr. Heath and Miss Abel, Baldoni said he was not in love with the document they sent. Not sure I'm feeling the protection I felt on the call. And this is a call with Miss Nathan and her colleagues. And then Mr. Heath wrote at one point, the most important part of this is how quickly they can shut things down and place stories in your favor. The complaint reads, later that day, Miss Abel and Miss Nathan exchanged the following text messages, expressing that Mr. Baldoni wants to feel like she can be buried. And then Miss Abel and Miss Nathan agreed that, of course, they would do just that, but could not say so in writing. We can't write it down to him. We can't write we will destroy her. Imagine if a document saying all the things that he wants ends up in the wrong hands. So Nathan allegedly responded, we can bury anyone, but I can't write that to him. These are bad messages. Or how about this? August 4th, Miss Abel texted Nathan. Again, there's an embedded screenshot of this text stating,
and there was a meeting at their apartment at which you allege that there were some senior production people who witnessed him allegedly berate Justin Baldoni to the point where these third parties felt upset that they didn't do more to stand up for Justin, that they thought Ryan Reynolds was so abusive. I think he would say, I was standing up for my wife who'd been sexually harassed by this guy and so on. But what role did he have in all of this?
Well, arguably, for the first time at the premiere, you find out that Blake Lively tells people that all of a sudden he wrote a scene in the movie. I mean, shocking everybody, shocking Sony, shocking the production staff. It's the first time they're hearing it. And, Justin handles that really, really well and doesn't want to say she's a liar, or doesn't want to say that's inappropriate, or doesn't want to say that's part of someone else's job. And he treats her very well about that. But what Ryan Reynolds, has seemingly done, right, is used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, but he's used it, on Deadpool, and to make fun of Justin Baldoni.
Do you think that's what he did? We have a clip where his character Deadpool, which is very popular in this movie, acts more like the Justin Baldoni that I said turned me off with the I'm against toxic masculinity. And there's a question about whether he was taking a shot at Justin. Here's the clip.
Justin said, in a text message to his editors, the editors and director isn't allowed to look at an actress cut. Got it. Well, here we go. We will keep taking the high road. Even when Justin Baldoni's his version, his cut of the film, the Baldoni cut, I'll call it, scored significantly higher than Blake Lively's cut. And still Blake Lively's cut was the one that was chosen. He still didn't do anything publicly about that. And that was the one chosen, because of the threats made by Blake Lively.
Hollywood's latest scandal is exploding into a full-blown saga, pulling in big names, shocking allegations, and courtroom drama that rivals any blockbuster. Blake Lively, known for her elegance on and off the screen, has accused her co-star Justin Baldoni of harassment and creating a toxic environment during the filming of It Ends With Us. But Justin's countersuit has flipped the narrative, revealing evidence that could reshape the entire story. Texts, footage, and eyewitness accounts are painting a picture that's more complicated and more explosive than anyone anticipated. Blake's initial claims included a series of incidents where she allegedly felt unsafe working alongside Justin. She described moments of inappropriate conduct and even alleged a disregard for her concerns by the production team. These accusations initially earned her widespread sympathy, with celebrities and fans rallying under the "Nazi Stand with Blake" banner. However, Justin's legal team struck back with receipts, literal and metaphorical, that have cast doubt on her story. Friendly text messages between Blake and Justin, raw behind-the-scenes footage showing them laughing between takes, and production logs have systematically chipped away at her allegations. Most notably, Justin's team presented undeniable evidence that Blake was vacationing in the Bahamas with Ryan Reynolds during one of the incidents she described